Welcome back.
Therefore, there's an important concept called the primacy effect. The first impression that people have on you, 93% of it comes from your body language, your outfits, your intonation and tone when you talk, and the remaining 7% comes from the content when you talk. So your body language, your outer self, your intonation accounts for the majority part of the impression that people have on you. So this is what we are going to learn today. Let's look at this pie chart. As you can see from this pie chart, the body language accounts for 55% of the first impression. That means you need to stand upright and straight. Your chin needs to be up, chest out. You need to wear a smile, so that's 55%. And then 38% of the first impression comes from your intonation and tone. You need to sound confident, comfortable, pleasant, and joyful. So that's 38%. Later on, we will use a phone and a mirror to demonstrate the importance of the intonation and tone. The remaining 7% refers to the content when you talk. 55% plus 38% means 93%. That's very important. Now, let's talk about building an image. As a receptionist, you stand at the reception desk. When a guest arrives, the guest looks at you from your head to toe. You need to be aware of the position you're at. Is the way you dressed appropriate in terms of your duty and position, and also demonstrates your personality and capabilities, so that the guest can have a good impression on the company. So you need to understand yourself. When it comes to an image, it covers three aspects. The first one, the behavior identity. And the second one, visual identity. And the third one, mind identity. With behavior identity, your elegant demeanor is displayed. People look at your appropriate outfit, and most importantly, your comment needs to sound pleasant to other people. How do we achieve these three identities? In terms of the mind identity, it focuses on the importance of your view on life and values, because they will reflect the way you talk and the way you react with others. Your behaviors are viewed and seen by other people. Especially when we are in the hospitality industry, we need to use respectful terms so that people know that you have been trained and you are courteous.
This triangle is to importance, disimportance. This graph is called the interactive service triangle, which highlights, for example, the company, like the company you work for, and also the two major support of this triangle, including the employees and customers. For a company to stand strong, it relies on the two important pillars, employees and customers. Without the employees and customers, a company wouldn't have existed. For a customer to know the company, the customer rely on the employees. Especially for a new company, for the customer to know a company, it make use of external marketing and advertisement, especially when companies are first set up. But as time goes on, customers like to approach employees. That's why the key of a company is employee, instead of relying on spending lots of money. Employees provide service to customers and build very good interaction and connection. That's so-called interactive marketing. Customers come to the company for the first time through the advertisement and marketing. But after coming here for several times, the customers might get to know a specific employee and then get to like the company. That's why the interaction between employees and customers are so important. For an employee to work for a company for a long time, the company needs to treat the employees very well, look after them, for employees to feel the prospects in the future. This graph highlights the importance of the strong support of the employee and customers. Companies need to treat the employee well so that they are happy employees and then happy customers and then a good and sustainable company. Let's talk about how to define and build an image. We need to know ourselves and others. For example, the public figure, Mr. Shimingde, he always wears a mustache and a bow tie. That's the representation of his outer self. Another public figure, Li Ao, likes to wear a red jacket. As for Nita Ying, a female entrepreneur, always have a short haircut. Another entrepreneur, Barry Lam, likes to have bandit collar shirt. Candice Ye, another entrepreneur, likes to have Armani suit, and that's the representation of his image. How do we build a professional image with your own characteristics at the workplace? First of all, when it comes to the tangible and outer self, we saw those famous persons, their outfits, their hairstyle, their body language, their smile. These are the tangible and visible things. As for the inner traits, we need to be proactive, active, and have attitude of learning. In other words, to work in the tourism industry, the five senses are very important. You put on the uniform and stand in front of the reception desk. Your eyes, where do they see? Your ears, do they pay attention to anything? Your hands and your hand gestures, your verbal language. Your nose, need to pay attention to the surrounding, the hygiene, and any smell around you. As mentioned, the key 6 seconds. I put on the uniform and stand in front of the reception desk. What's other people's impression of me in these 6 seconds? They have already get to know you through your appearance and have an impression on you. That's why it is important. Appearance. When it comes to an appearance, when a stranger comes to the receptionist, this person doesn't know me, so this person will judge me based on my appearance. Like when we go to a bookstore, we choose a book based on the book's cover. At workplace, the appearance is very important. You need to have appropriate outfit. As mentioned before, another important thing is the body language. How you stand, sit, and how you hold things and walk are very important. When it comes to the standing position, I will demonstrate in the following. This is the gentleman on the left and lady on the right. When it comes to men, when you stand, you have to stand upright. You need to put the chin up and chest out. Look straight ahead. Both hands can be placed down naturally or placed at the back. His feet are slightly apart, slightly narrower than the shoulder length. Both hands can be in the front or at the back. As for ladies, for girls, both hands have to be placed in the front. As for her feet, unlike men who have to be placed slightly apart, women wear pumps. So the feet have to be placed in the V shape, which I will demonstrate later. So these are very good standing position and pose. At work, our outfit and looks are very important. We can put both hands in front of our belly. As for the legs, when you stand, because we wear pumped shoes, both legs has to appear as the V shape. We need to make sure that our outfit and looks are very appropriate. For girls, when girls have long hair, the hair shouldn't affect The face appearance, the hair cannot be unkempt and need to be tied up. When you talk and interact with other people, you need to make sure your face looks nice. You need to sleep well the night before. When it comes to the fingers and the nails, you will hold hands or exchange your name card with others. You will even have to hold the customer's credit card. Your hands and fingers need to be very clean. We can keep them clean. We do not necessarily have to paint nail polish. Because we interact with customers frequently, both our palms and hands have to be very clean. Wear transparent nail polish if you want to. Don't have fancy manicure. If you want to wear something on your hand, only a watch will do. Don't wear rings. When customers interact with you, customers might need to hand things over to you or hold your hands. They will feel your hands, so your hands need to be neat and clean. Miss Zhang, very nice to meet you. Welcome. Finally, I have got the chance to see you. We have spoken on the phone call for several times. It must have been a long journey to come over here. My name is Rachel. This is my name card. When you work at the reception, you have to stand up, you have to walk, you have to sit down. Sometimes you bow to the customers. You need to have good facial expression. You have to wear a smile on your face. You need to be sweet and graceful. When it comes to the standing position and posture, I'm talking about the theory here. As you can see here, when you stand up, you need to put the chest out, hold your belly back. And as for the eye contact, it is very important. We do not have to be like the lady on the left or in the middle. We need to be like the lady on the right. The first one on the left, she seems very arrogant and snobbish and superior. And the image in the middle, she looks a little bit lowly, lacking of confidence. As for the image on the right, that's the best one. She looks confident and sensible. When we look at people, we need to look at the person's area between the eyes, eyebrows, both sides of the head, or even the top of her head, but never look down. That's very important. When it comes to body language, when we walk, we need to stay focused on walking, never gaze around. When you are in the hotel, you need to walk gracefully, never run. When you run, it looks like something wrong happens. And this is the sitting posture. Both hands need to be placed on top of the knees. For girls, both feet and legs need to be tightly together. I will demonstrate that later. When you sit down, both feet need to be placed on the floor. Never slouch. If you do not have a proper sitting posture, you will feel uncomfortable and you won't be able to sit for long. Don't gaze around when you walk. Concentrate on walking. Do not have exaggerated postures. When you sit down, make sure that you sit forward on the chair. Do not sink into the chair. After sitting down, place both of your hands on top of your knees. Let's move on to greeting. There are a few ways. Greeting by nodding, and greeting by standing up and bowing at a certain degree, such as 15, 30, 40, or 90 degrees. First of all, why do we greet by nodding? As a receptionist, you greet others, show respect or gratitude. You need to have the right demeanor, eye contact, and body language. Let me explain a bit more. First of all, bowing at 15 degrees, you are doing the etiquette to your peers or colleagues. If you give a 30-degree bow, you are showing respect to your supervisors, the older generations, or the guests. If it's a 45-degree bow, you are expressing gratitude or apologies to a greater extent. For example, when you make mistakes unintentionally, you can bow at 30 to 45 degrees. If you give a 90 degrees bow, a vertical one, in Japanese companies, for example, in Taiwan, we have department stores run by Japanese companies. The staff there respect etiquette more, and they would give a 90 degrees bow. You will feel that you are being respected by them very much. Some companies greet customers by bowing at 90 degrees to show sincerity. For example, here on the image, you can see 15, 45, and 90 degrees bow. That's the body language. In the catering business, say for example, this is the Tripod King, a famous company and restaurant in Taichung. Staff greet customers every time they visit here at 90 degrees. You can try it yourself. If you do it for once, you will have a sore back. For them, they have to do this every time when a customer visits. That's quite a difficult job. Now, I'm going to play a video clip about bowing.
Hello everyone, I'm Belle. Today I share with you 3 types of Japanese bow. Let's learn together. Number 1, a slight bow. Bend your upper body. Just nodding your head is not a bow. Bend at the waist, and your head to your waist should be in a straight line. When to use informal greeting colleagues, passing each other. トヨタさん、おはようございます。And lower to angle of 30 degree. Number 2, a standard bow. Close your fingers, don't open them. Females, put your hand together. Males, put your hands next to your thighs. When to use customer service when visiting people. いらっしゃいませ。Lower to angle of 45 degree. Number 3, a polite bow. You shouldn't make eye contact. Making eye contact this situation makes the other person feel suspicious. Lower your head and your gaze at the same time. When to use ceremonial occasion and apologizing. 大変申し訳ありませんでした。Thanks for watching. I shared with you 3 types of Japanese bow. Do you understand? Thanks for your time. ありがとうございました。
Let's talk about the standing, sitting, walking arrangement. How do you arrange the sitting or walking? Say if you're standing together with your customer, the most respected person should stand in the middle. The second most respected person should stand on the right, followed by the one on the left. When you take a photo, the customer should be standing in the middle, or your supervisor, so that you can stand on the left. The second most respected person should stand on the right. And they should be seated in the order of status, with the most respected person at the front or on the right.